Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the Mwasi Mama Village. If you're new here, I'm Essie. I'm a birth doula, aspiring birth educator and an advocate for black women and wellness. So welcome to this channel. Today we will be discussing a phase in labor that I don't think a lot of people actually talk about, but it's quite pivotal in labor, and that is the transition phase. Now, I believe that this phase is depicted quite a lot in media. It's usually the case where a mum is on the bed screaming, saying that she can't do it, or she's tired, or she's just doesn't have it in her anymore. This phase, even though at times can be quite over dramatized, it's quite obvious, and I just basically want to give a breakdown of what it is, what it actually looks like, and how you can use it as a signal where you are in your labor. So, what is the transition stage? A lot of health providers would describe it as the calm before the storm. A lot of time it's quite abrupt, it can be very intense. So I want to start off by saying that this is actually the shortest stage in labor. It is a moment where powerful, intense surges come through the body quite rapidly and abruptly. Because of this, mamas can find this to be quite overwhelming. It's usually a gateway to mark the end of the first stage of labor. During this time, your cervix is usually between 8 to 9 centimeters dilated, and it is on its way to reach its 10th centimeter of dilation. Now, I mentioned that these are quite powerful surges, and I just want to put a disclaimer that this is not a thing to be afraid of. This doesn't mean it's impossible to deal with. If anything, your body knows what it's doing, so it's actually designed to feel these very strong sensations. So what does this phase usually look like? So I have some notes here in regards to some things that mamas might say in the labor room as an indicator on what might actually be happening. Birthing partners might hear things such as, I can't do this, I don't want to do this anymore, I really need to go to the toilet. I've heard that one quite a few times, and a lot of times they don't actually need to go to the toilet. It's a marker of this stage. And then sometimes there's the good old-fashioned scream or roar, which is always good. I love a good roar in the labor room. And during this time, mama might feel really hot, she might feel quite overheated, she might feel a bit nauseous, she might be really shaky, she might feel a bit dizzy, she might be really irritable, and all these feelings are normal. And I just want to highlight that when you are going through these things, it's really imperative that health providers are operating in an empathetic level, because this is a normal reaction. Like, I really can't stand it when health providers move in a way where it's a case of like you're being too much and you're being difficult. I've been in situations where health providers have come across as if the mum is being incredibly difficult for having these reactions, especially when she's a first-time mum. It is okay for it to be a big sensation to deal with. If anything, this is a time where health providers are meant to be reassuring, they are meant to be grounding, they are meant to be empathetic, they are meant to be understanding, especially as they see this every day. They should be the first to know that how we respond to things show up in different ways. We are not all the same, we are not a monolith. Just so you are aware, you should not be gaslit during this phase. It's really important that you are aware of that. That's not normal, that's not expected, that's not on. So yeah, just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. Adrenaline is usually the hormone that surfaces just right at the end of transition. Now, with the hormone of adrenaline, what it's doing is helping mama wake up. The first stage of labor is actually the longest stage, and that can last for hours. And mama might be really tired during this time. She might feel a bit low, she might feel just down, and she's just ready for baby to come. What the hormone adrenaline does is wake mama up and let mama know, like, okay, baby is now here and I'm gonna now need you to push baby out. So that shot of adrenaline is giving mama that bit more energy to basically put all of the power that she possesses in her body into pushing baby out. The body is amazing, right? The body knows exactly what it needs to get the job done. Now, that means it will make sure that it produces just the right amount of adrenaline to help mama stay awake and alert and ready to push. The thing is, too much adrenaline can lead to mama panicking, it can lead to mama feeling extremely anxious, and that is not what we want, because we still want the flow of oxytocin. Remember, with oxytocin, that is the hormone that helps us have big, strong surges to help push the baby down, because contractions slash surges are what helps our body to push baby out. If we have too much adrenaline while oxytocin is doing its thing, this can lead to stagnation. This can lead to labor taking much longer than it needs to. So it's really imperative that mama stays calm during this time and relaxed, even though I understand the sensations are too much. It could be overwhelming, but it's so important that mama stays calm and relaxed, as uncomfortable as she can be, because we want the oxytocin to still be flowing. We want adrenaline to do its job, but we don't want it to do too much of a job to the point where now there's stagnation. How to cope during transition. This is where the people in the room need to play their part. It's important that the people in the room are helping mama to stay calm, helping mama to be as comfortable as she can be, and helping mama to relax and really just focus her attention on pushing baby out. One ways that we can do that is by keeping mama hydrated. The uterus will thank her for it. The uterus is a muscle, and when the uterus or our muscles in general are dehydrated, specifically with the uterus, it could lead to weaker contractions, which could then lead to stagnation, which can then lead to labor progressing very slowly, and that is not ideal. Keeping mama hydrated with electrolytes is a really good way to ensure that mama's uterus is doing its job. Now, in terms of like electrolytes, I find that coconut water is a really good source for that. I know some people don't like the taste of coconut water. I used to be one of those people, but then I got over it. So another great way of getting a source of electrolytes is something that my partner does actually, which is getting like your liter of water and putting in some putting in some lemon and lime, and that is also another good way of electrolyte. You can also hydrate mama's body with some normal water, that works just as well, but I feel like electrolytes during a long labor session is always really beneficial. Now, fluids help with the blood volume, and the hormone that is oxytocin and endorphins run through our bloodstream. If the blood volume drops due to dehydration, that leads to us dealing with a mama that's dealing with less powerful contractions. The hormone that stimulates contractions slash surges is oxytocin. So if there's not enough levels of oxytocin within mama's bloodstream, it makes it a bit more difficult for her to have the right pressure or right amount of contractions to help push baby out. Another benefit of keeping mama hydrated is temperature regulation. So as I mentioned before, the transition stage can lead to mama feeling quite irritable, and that could be due to the fact that she might just be really hot. So just having some water on deck to help keep her cool and collected. We don't want mama overheating, because overheating can lead to mama feeling irritated, and irritation can lead to mama feeling stressed. And remember, we want oxytocin to be flowing throughout the process. If we are ensuring that mama is staying hydrated and cool, and as cool as a cucumber, that's a win. That's a win, because it means that mama's relaxed. Dehydration could look like mama feeling tired. It can look like her being feeling a bit dizzy, or she might be having some headaches for a certain amount of time. Like, if you hear or have any indication that mama's not doing so well and she's just mentioning any of the 3 things that I've just said, pull out that water. Tell her, even ask her, when was the last time you drank? Oh yeah, 15 minutes ago. Let's stay on top of that. I've been in situations where mamas are just like adamant on getting baby here, and that's like their primal focus, which is great. But this is where doulas and birth partners and health providers come in, where we ensure that we are looking after mama in that moment. So encourage her to take those sips of water. Another way that we can help mama cope is breathing techniques, and I have 2 that I would like to mention, and that is down breathing and J breathing. So I would say J breathing is good to use when baby is just about to make their grand entrance into the world, and the process of it is where mama takes a deep breath through her nose, and as she breathes out, she kind of visualizes that she's almost breathing out as if the breath is like going down her like a slide. And when I say down her, I mean like down and out her birth canal or her vagina. I don't know if I'm gonna get flagged for that. Let's see, let's find out. But she's just breathing the breath out of her vagina, and that's just a good way just to help her gauge what her body is actually doing, or what her body is trying to accomplish when it comes to getting baby out and through the birth canal. And down breathing is a similar process. So it's a case where mama will take a deep inhale through the nose, and as she breathes out, she's breathing out slowly and downwards. And then it's just this idea again to help mama gauge her breath with her body. And it's just a nice way to, I find, when mamas breathe this way, they are really working with their bodies. With breath work, it's a great tool of really gauging and grounding yourself. I find that sometimes when we deal with really big sensations, we tend to disassociate, and that could lead us to just not really being present and arrive where we need to arrive to. And with this sort of breath work, it's, yes, you feel everything a lot more, but if you allow yourself to focus on that breath, it gives you a focal point, one, but also it allows you an opportunity to just be present and really understand what it is that your body is doing. Because then once you have that conversation where words aren't really being exchanged, you're also allowing yourself that opportunity to trust your body and to really understand what it is that your body is capable of. Other strategies that birth partners and health providers could implement for mama include dimming lights. Dimming lights is always my favorite, because that is also a great way to get a rush and boost of oxytocin flowing, I would say using things like cool pads. So earlier we spoke about temperature regulation for mama, so if you have like any cool pads or like wet cloths to help mama stay cool, that's always a plus and a win. I would also suggest encouraging words. Like I mentioned before, this stage, I would say, like, it's probably the stage where mama's gonna feel her most primal, right? So the best thing that we can do during this time is just to give mama the reassurance, give mama the encouragement. When she says that I can't do this, tell her you can do it. You've been doing it. You've been doing it for the last 12, 13, 14 hours. What are you talking about? Of course you're doing it. Your body is literally doing it right now. And as soon as you do it, baby's here. Like, encourage her, give her the affirmations that she needs to hear. You can help ground mama if she's okay and she's all right with being touched. You can give her, you know, soothe her arm, literally just stroke her arm up and down. Some mums, they want their hair tied all the way back. They don't want anything on them right now. If mama's like feeling really irritable, tie that hair up. Okay, get it all out of her face. Try and make it as comfortable for her as possible. Like, be aware of the little details. Just pick up on what it is that mama needs. Now, to close this video, just in case you don't have any, I want to leave with some affirmations. My body knows exactly what to do. I surrender to the process. Each surge brings me closer to holding my baby in my arms. I am safe. My baby is safe. We are working together. So that is all for this video. If you enjoyed watching and you learned something new, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. If you would like to actually get a more in-depth video in regards to the actual stages of labor, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. I literally have done a TikTok video regarding this, but I think it's only right that I do one for YouTube as well, just in case. But yeah, if you're interested in that, just please let me know and drop it in the comments. I hope you found this video helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I really do look forward to seeing you in the next video.